Hey everyone, welcome back and thanks for joining me once again for another episode of my Aston Villa career on FIFA 16. And things have taken a turn for the better lately. We are up into 8th after beating Stoke. Fortunately, we lost against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, but we showed great character in that game. And then we went on to beat Swansea at home at Villa Park with a 2-0 win there. Up next, we had such a big challenge on our hands as we had to travel down south to White Hart Lane to take on Tottenham Hotspur. And then just a couple of days after, well, a week or so after, we had Man City visiting Villa Park. So 2 tough fixtures in a row, and you're going to be able to see that here in this episode. Now, I'll admit, things haven't been too rosy for Villa with the first 10 games of the season. I mean, the majority of games have ended in a draw. You want a draw, you can have a draw. But when I saw the league table heading into this game against Tottenham, I was like, you know, to be fair, we haven't done too bad. Okay, we're in 10th, but the points difference between Tottenham and us is just a point. If we could get those 3 points here today, and I was feeling so upbeat heading into this game, then we'll quite easily find ourselves in a Europa League spot in the league. But we had to, of course, put in a stellar performance against Spurs if we wanted to find ourselves in that position. Tottenham almost opened up the score, and Harry Kane looking to pick out that top left-hand corner. Guzan with a tremendous save, just tipping it over the crossbar. Tottenham eventually did open up the scoring. That was a bit of a blow for Villa with just under half an hour gone. The goal coming from Chadley. It's a great bit of skill from Lamela to work off the challenge of my defenders, and Dembele just dragging the ball back. Great footwork to pass the ball through for Chadley to knock up into the top corner to put Spurs in the lead. Carlos Gil had a great opportunity to get himself on the score sheet, but Vorm, the former Swansea keeper, denied him of the all-important equaliser for Villa. The first corner taken by Sinclair wasn't too bad, could have been a little bit better, but the second was even better. Quality all around with the delivery. It was Clark on the end of it, using his height to his advantage, got to the ball, but the ball just drifting wide of the target. And with the half-time just seconds away, we had one final chance to maybe get that equaliser. We did score, but it was offside. Veretout, so unfortunate there. Sinclair pulled the trigger. It was a good block, but you'll see on the replay here that Veretout was just offside. I mean, look how close that is. It's just like a leg over. It's proper eagle vision from the linesman there to spot that. And just look at how Tottenham were passing the ball around. We were very fortunate with this. I mean, Harry Kane got 2 chances there. His first hammering against the post on the rebound. Richards couldn't clear it. Harry Kane came in. Guzan with another good save, keeping the game at 1-0, keeping us in the game, if anything. And we kept plugging away though, and just over the hour mark, Scott Sinclair down the left side for Villa, crossed in a magnificent ball. It did find the head of Fur. He did convert it. He did make it 1-1, but again for Villa, we were getting screwed by the linesman. You can see Fur realised that he was in an offside position, tried to get back onside before the ball left the foot of Sinclair, but it just wasn't quick enough. I mean, we could have been 2-1 up if, obviously, we hadn't been offside. It's a Michael Owen comment, isn't it? But, you know, it's just frustrating. And then when this happens with just 3 minutes to go, I mean, Eriksson taking the ball to the corner flag. My God, this is so frustrating. And it was getting to me. In the end, I went in with that lunging challenge from Clark. It was a silly decision, I know, and it did cost us. We did go down to 10 men. It wouldn't have much effect on the end result as it would, and 1-0 to Tottenham at White Hart Lane. We would drop all 3 points, but it's the fact that we've now got a player out missing for the next game, which would be against Man City when they would come and visit us at Villa Park. You know, Clark's probably one of those players that should be in the starting lineup for such a high-profile fixture. But it is what it is. Thanks to frustration, we just have to make do without him and move on and try and be at our very best for this next game against Man City. Real title contenders as they put out a very strong team, which you'll see in a minute. For Villa, I went with Bacuna and Richards at the back instead of going for Lescott, who was available, but I decided to start him on the bench instead. In midfield, I went with Sanchez and Grenier. Grenier had a pretty decent game against Tottenham, so he deserved a first team spot. But look at City's team: Aguero, Silva, Sterling, Torre, Lazaro, Kolarov, Mangala. They were all in there. and I'm sure the bookies would have had City down as winners in this game, to try and pile on the pressure and also the misery for Villa. I mean, we've done well in the league to get up into that top half, and just coming up against City, who are in decent form at the moment. You know, they're battling it out for top spot. We gave a great account of ourselves, to be fair, in the first half. We were getting our shots away, putting Gunn under pressure. I was surprised that Gunn got start for City instead of Joe Hart. Kind of glad, to be honest, that Joe Hart didn't start, because we probably wouldn't have put anything past City. But we did find ourselves in the lead against City. I was very surprised by this. It came from a corner. It was only a matter of time before we scored from a corner in this career mode save. And it came from the head of Akore. Oh, what a powerful header it was. Great delivery from Scott Sinclair, straight into that 6-yard area. And Gunn couldn't even put a stop to it. Look at the battle between Bakuna and Yaya Toure down that left side as well. Toure managed to get his cross away, but Sergio Aguero, I thought he was very quiet, very lethargic in this one. I expected more from him, but he just didn't give it for Man City. We came so close to doubling our lead. Gunn leaving it very late to swat the ball away off the line as well. At the time, I was thinking, is he going to just stay there, route to the spot and just watch the ball go past him, or is he going to save it? Obviously, he saved it. It was an absolute whirlwind for Aston Villa in the start of the second half. We had such a bright start. We were 1-0 up, and I was thinking to myself, you know what, I'm going to try a few long shots, because I've rarely done that on FIFA 16. And woe and behold, Carlos Gil, what a tremendous goal, doubling Villa's lead against City, who are flying high at the moment in the league, who were probably put down by the bookies to get 3 points here. We're trailing Villa. We came close to tripling our lead with that volley from Charlie Austin. Oh, I wish he'd put that into the back of the net. I really do. You can see the long shots coming in thick and fast after scoring that second goal. It gave me confidence, really. I thought maybe we can go and score an absolute stunner, like I did earlier in the season against the Baggers here at Villa Park with Sanchez just outside the box. Perfect goal. City, they kept working away, and they eventually clawed a goal back with that header from Kevin De Bruyne, their summer signing. But it wasn't enough for City as we held in there. I mean, it was scored on the 90th minute with just 2 minutes added on. We shut up shop and we clenched those 3 points. What a result, what a performance, and a great way to send the fans home happy. Up next, we travel to Goodison Park to play Everton once again in the Premier League. With us being on a bit of a high after beating Man City, title contenders, 2-1 at Villa Park, I was looking for another set of 3 points here against Everton. I knew it was going to be difficult. They've got pretty strong team. A team that's had a really good start to the season. They're up into 3rd, 4th in those European spots. They've had a cracking start to the season, and they're playing at home as well, so they had that slight advantage, which kind of worked against us throughout this game. And in the 24th minute, we conceded a free kick. It would be Leighton Baines to step up and take, and he made it 1-0 to Everton after an absolute cock-up by Guzan in goal. I couldn't believe that was such a simple free kick to save from Guzan. There was hardly any power on the ball from Leighton Baines, when you kind of expect there to be. But even so, absolutely no excuse from Guzan. It's terrible from him. He really should be saving that. And I think, with January on the horizon, with the transfer window about to open, I think maybe it's time to move him on. If you guys can leave some suggestions of keepers in the comments below, feel free to do so, because I think that's going to probably be my main priority to strengthen come the January transfer window. Saying that, Guzan did make a great save there just past the hour mark. Lukaku, unfortunate for Everton not to be converting that parry into a goal to make it 2-0. But in the end, once the ref had blown the whistle for the final time, it was Everton that picked up all 3 points with a 1-0 win against Aston Villa at Goodison Park. We just can't seem to put a bit of a run together where we're winning, let's say, 3-4 games in a row. We'll get there eventually. I suppose, though, we're still on target for a Europa League spot. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this episode. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you all soon for the next one.